the true definition of a real adventure bike. Hello people, and welcome to my channel 0 to 100, and today we are going to be doing a short review walk around of this beautiful well known motorcycle, the Africa Twin. This is the full adventure sport model with the DCT and electronic suspension, and later on we're going to take this baby for a ride and put it through the test out the suspension, do a little bit of off-road, see what the standing position is like on this bike. So stick around, and right now I'm going to give you a little bit of some b-roll of this beautiful looking Africa Twin. Thank you. So let's start with the front tire. The front tire tradition to the Africa Twin. It boasts a 90 by 90 21-inch tire, yes, and this is the Battle Axe Adventure Cross Tourer tires, yes, from Bridgestone. Spoked wheels. It's got dual discs in front, Nisfin. It's got 45 millimeter inverted shocks in front. They've done a really good job here with protecting the dry sump in the engine with this engine guard here. This is aluminium. As you can see here, it's got some spotlights. It's got the frame, which looks like it will do a really good job protecting this motorbike. I like that. If this is to be a full adventure touring bike, it needs these shock protectors here, the crash bars, and the sump and engine protector at the bottom there. Now it's on its main stand, right? It's not on the side stand, and you can see this motorbike has got really good clearance. Being off-road biased, you will be able to take this bike anywhere. Yes, if you put on a good pair of knobblies, you will really be able to push this bike more so than any other of the big adventure bikes. What they've done with this engine, it's 8 valves per cylinder. They've increased it to 1100 cc's, right? So it's the Africa Twin 1100, right? I think it's the displacement is slightly lower than 1100, something like 1087, but I'll put all the spec sheets up for you guys to have a look. This is the dual clutch transmission. Those of you that know the dual clutch transmission on the Hondas, it is a seamless transmission system which is always engaged, right? When you're in first, the second gear is engaged, and it's just a solenoid that kicks it in when it reaches the right torque. This is the black model here, so there's no clutch on the dual clutch transmission whatsoever. Everything is done automatically, and you don't feel the jerks whatsoever. So basically, what else can I tell you? Really comfortable. The adventure bike has got a much larger fuel tank. I believe it's 21 liters. You do not need the subframe here. There is customizable cases for the Africa Twin, right? But they've opted here for aftermarket cases. The back tire is a 150/70 by 18 inch. Nice exhaust. The final drive on this bike is chain, right? And you can have a look here at the bike's setup. Now, this bike here has got all of the gadgets you would expect from a modern bike. Yes, Honda was falling a little bit behind with a competition like BMW, KTM, with all the electronic features. This bike now is fully equipped. The windscreen is adjustable. Let me show you that. It is now set on the lowest. It's not adjustable on the fly, yeah, but you grab these 2 points here and you push it up like that, and then you just click it back into place. This is now on its highest setting, yeah, and I've got to tell you that the screen itself gives you very, very good wind protection, yeah, really, really good wind protection, and even on its lowest setting, yeah, right, it should be more than sufficient for your riding. The instrumentation and the dash, it's got a full touchscreen color TFT display. I believe it is 8-inch. It's got a dual screen here with the speed. It does not show you the gears when you are riding in automatic mode, but it does show you the gears when you switch to manual mode, right? And you can see this here. So this is your automatic and manual modes, right? Your drive or dynamic for your economical city driving, and then you've got sport, which revs the engine a lot more, and then of course you've got your neutral. So this is your settings here for the DCT, and you basically start the bike up like so. You can see the neutral here. It takes a while for it to go through the display, but you don't need to wait for it. You can start riding straight away with this, yeah. It gives you the rider is responsible safe operation of this vehicle. Use this system only when traffic conditions permit. For further details, see your manual. Touchscreen, you click OK, and it goes straight into the urban mode. You can see it's Bluetooth, so you can connect your telephone to this. If you want to go to your riding information here, you can set up, of course, yeah. You've got your time, you've got your temperature. It's 10 degrees today. It's a beautiful day, right? You've got your fuel gauge here. You've got a really bright display. You've got engine power, you've got engine braking, you've got traction, you've got ABS on, and you've got so your soft and medium suspension settings over here in urban. All of these settings are adjustable with this control here, and it is quite easy to control on the fly, yeah. So if I use the down button, you can see I'm in a touring screen here, right? It's got my fuel, it's got my rev meter. You've got user 2, user 1, completely programmable. You've got off-road mode, which you can set all of the parameters. It's in neutral now, of course. Okay, so we're back in the main screen, and I'm going to go urban riding because that's what I'm going to be doing. It's got a really comfortable seat. The seat is pretty good, yeah. A little bit of a non-slip, texture to it, which is nice. It's not a very tall bike, so I'm 1.80 m, and yeah, I reach the floor pretty good, yeah. Final drive is chain. Engine is got a really nice sound to it. Let me give you an example of that. It's got a nice rumble to it. Let's take this baby for a ride and let's see how she does. So, right off the bat, she's very, very comfortable, very, very comfortable, and very, very easy to maneuver. Good visibility. Okay, so as you can see, my stance is it's not, it's a big bike. It feels like a big bike. It is a big bike. It's a big adventure bike, but it's got a nice, comfortable stopping stance. I'm 1.8 meters and my feet are on the ground, not flat foot, but can easily reach the ground, right, with the ball of my foot. The handlebars themselves are nice and wide. The rear view mirrors gives you really good visibility, and as you can see, it's a very upright motorbike, yeah. And I'm going to be standing up in a moment to see basically what is the standing position on this bike, yeah. Just wait for the traffic light to go. So the bike itself, seat is really, really comfortable, yeah. No complaints in that department, and I think that you will be able to do long hauls with this bike without really complaining about seat comfort. The dashboard, as you can see, bright and sunny daylight conditions today, and I do not struggle at all to see the visibility on the dashboard. It's really, really clear. So being DCT, this motorbike, you don't need to engage in neutral or automatic or in any gears. It's seamless. Let's take her around the corners. She really feels comfortable, even with a 21-inch tire in front, because it's an off-road biased machine. It really does not struggle to flicker around whatsoever. Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And the engine itself, I can assure you, it's got plenty power. So in 6th gear, open up throttle, and as you can see, it's not shy in power whatsoever. The windscreen on its lowest setting does give you a little bit of wind buffeting on the helmet. Again, you can adjust it higher. It's not unbearable, so it will be nice for those hot summer days. And I will try this with the windscreen all the way up. The bike feels very nimble, very easy, very light to maneuver. Controls are easily accessible. Suspension feels nice, really, really nice. And again, you've got so many different settings on it. You will not be disappointed. Okay, let's take this baby for a decent ride now that I've got all of my off bike drone like shots taken and I am more maneuverable. Let's take this baby now for a real proper ride. So I must say, guys, I've been focusing now on the videography, but I am now more maneuverable and can now give this bike a little bit of stick. And I must say that I am impressed so far. This bike is smooth. Gear changes, DCT is smooth. Maneuverability around cornering, very confidence inspiring. It feels good even with a 21-inch tire and the Battle Bridgestone Battle Axe Adventure tires. The bike's got plenty power. Windscreen on its lowest settings is delivering enough wind to cool you down, although it's protecting you basically, I would say, from your visor down. You don't feel any wind whatsoever. The power delivery is excellent. I mean, I'm doing 102 now in 6th gear, and without gearing down, if I open throttle, it gears down, and in no time I'm doing 144 kilometers. So impressive for a dual cylinder 1100 cc engine. It's got plenty power, and this new engine basically is delivers, I believe, 6 brake horsepower up on the older version. So this new 2020 does have an all-new engine that they've optimized to deliver more torque throughout, and delivers an additional 6 brake horsepower. Leaning on this bike, an engine sound is all you need. It's a big bike, but it feels light to ride, yeah? Brakes, guys, I'm not even going to comment on the brakes. The brakes are superb, I tell you, yeah? Okay, so let me adjust the screen to its highest setting, and now you're looking through the screen, right? And it should offer you more wind protection, and let's go try that out. Let's go try that out on the motorway, and then let's do a suspension test. So one thing I do notice with this DCT version, it allows you a little bit more of acceleration when engaged. Because this is an automatic bike, it's always engaged, right? There's no neutral, there's no need for it to go into neutral, right? It's always engaged. But what I do notice, you can actually give it a little bit of a flick with the wrist, right? Without, look at that. So it is always engaged, but it allows you to play a little bit. Throttle is absolutely spot on, yeah? Very accurate throttle. Front brakes, lever, very good. It's got these nice wind guard protections, and they're plastic, but nevertheless they're good for when you're doing off-roads. You don't want a twig or a branch hitting your knuckle, so I would adjust them slightly higher, because it looks like my knuckles are still a little bit bare, yeah? So I would adjust this up. Oh, it's not even tied in. Yeah, that looks a little bit, it's not tight enough, so I was able to do that just by moving it up. And it's protecting, of course, the lever now. Yeah, so with the windscreen all the way up, it does now do a much better job of protecting the rider from the wind buffeting. So when you're doing the long tours, I do like the way the bike feels around the corners. Very nice. Inspires confidence. Nothing wrong with that. I don't want to push it too much, because you know, in the evenings there is like -degree weather, so there is still some risk of ice on the roads, although it's been pretty dry lately. Yeah, so doing 120 kilometers on the motorway, I do feel a little bit of wind buffeting on the sides of the helmet, But it's great. It's great because it does allow you a little bit of cooling for the rider, but the wind protection is not the greatest in my opinion. It's sufficient, it's nice, so you do still get a little bit of wind to cool the rider off for those hot summer months, and it won't be completely frustrating like on a naked bike doing long tours. So you do have that level of protection, but it's not as good on, for example, my Honda Cross Tourer or the BMW bikes, right? That's for sure. Okay, so we've tested the wind, we've tested the seating, very comfortable bike, we've tested the power. It's got, of course, an excellent dashboard display with all the information you need. You can change riding modes on the fly, as you can see here. Yeah, you can customize the screens. It's got Apple Play. The only thing I wish it did do, nice horn. The instrumentation cluster is a little bit cluttered here with all of these buttons, but again, it's my first time riding the bike, so you know, you've got to get used to the bike and the controls. Yes, I'm sure that it will not be a problem. Also, this bike has got cruise control, yeah, as standard. Very nice. It's a reliable adventure bike. It's well known from back in the days of the Dakar Rally. This bike has proven the world that it can handle adventure. The Africa Twin lives up, or should I say the 2020 Africa Twin lives up to that expectation, and now it's just gotten a lot more modern. So I must say, I am pretty impressed with this bike overall, yeah, and I cannot really find any faults with this bike. Now, engine wise, pretty good, excellent sound, plenty power, plenty torque across all of the gears and the revs, yeah, power deliveries, chain, comfortable upright position. Standing position on this bike is typical off-road, man, typical off-road. This feels so natural standing up. It's incredible, incredible. Yeah, I can see this bike being a proper off-road bike, even with the weight of this bike and the big adventure bike. This is incredible. It's good. Standing position on it is really excellent. Let's go try out the suspension. So it's got self-cancelling flickers, which I really appreciate, because I'm one of those riders that, of course, forgets to switch off the flickers. Now we're going into a really bumpy road, and I can see already that the suspension is doing a really good job. You cannot touch the screen with your fingers. Now I'm sure that the display with your gloves, of course, so it's got a touch screen, but it does not allow you to touch the screen with your gloves. Suspension is on medium, suspension is on high, on tour mode, hard. So let's do suspension soft. Yeah, let's do suspension soft, and let's try this bumpy road. Alright, so we've got now on user 2, which is suspension soft. So it's got suspension soft, medium and hard, and right now we've got the suspension on soft, and let's see what happens on this extremely bumpy road. And I can see already that The suspension is noticeably better. Wow, I mean, that's fantastic, really. I don't feel anything. Look how bumpy this road is. And the suspension on soft is doing a fantastic job absorbing this road. So, I am sold. I am sold. I'm sold. This bike delivers excellent suspension. Fantastic. So, yeah, I did that on medium, I did that on soft, and I did not do that on hard, but there is a noticeable difference between medium and soft. And I'm impressed. I've ridden a lot of bikes, and I must say that the suspension is good. The suspension is good. Let's test the brakes. Fantastic. Fantastic stopping power. Let's test the brakes with hard settings on the suspension. Nothing behind me. It still does dip a little bit, more so than I would have liked, but it's not too bad. Okay guys, so let's wrap up, and let me give you a summary of this bike. I think it is a really good contender right now on the market. Yes, I think it is a good bike, although in my opinion the BMW, look at this idiot, the BMW does offer a far more superior electronic suspension. This just simply due to the fact that you can adjust this on the fly. You can have the all the rider settings. You've got all the gadgetry that you want: engine power, engine braking, wheelie control, traction control, cornering ABS, cruise control, heated grips. It's a really good package. It's a premium package. It is great. Okay, I keep pressing the damn hooter because it's so cluttered. The instrumentation is a bit clustered. Again, the BMW does offer a slightly better configuration of the controls, but the bike itself, come on, this is an Africa Twin, it's a Honda. The reliability, the comfort, the maneuverability, I can't fault this bike, honestly. I really can't fault this bike. It's an impressive all-round package with plenty power. So well done, Honda. This is a great bike. And thank you for watching my channel, guys, or should I say ladies and gentlemen. Please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us creators, keeps us motivated to keep uploading content like this for your pleasure. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video, play ding dong ding with the bell so you're notified of when I do reviews like this. Thanks for all the support. It's been a pleasure. I love doing this for you guys. Keep it real, ride safe, and go check out the Honda Africa Twin 2020. It's an impressive bike. You won't be disappointed.